Howdy, buckaroos. I'm John Meyer, and I'm a member of the Barrington Breakfast Rotary Club. My club wants to thank you for helping us celebrate our Western Rendezvous fundraiser. We're going to have a real hoedown here tonight. And of course, you're going to bid like wild horses on all the auction items. Right? Correct. Okay, I'd like to spend a few minutes telling you about my club and some of the good things we do. There's nothing I like better than to chat with friendly cowboy types like you. Just as long as we can stay upwind from the cattle. Get my drift? Anyway, let's get started. Now, I know you Wild West types live out on the range, so you might be wondering, what is Rotary anyway? What's that funny emblem? That gear? Maybe some kind of brand? Well, I took a shower, sprayed on my favorite deer repellent, didn't have any aftershave, and went to the big city, Barrington, to do some research. And here's what I found out. A young lawyer, Paul Harris, organized Rotary in Chicago in 1905. He and his business friends, get a load of those fancy suits, wanted to plan some service projects, and they rotated their meetings to each other's workplace. Thus the name Rotary. Hey, makes sense to me. Well, there's nothing like a good idea to get people's attention. From that humble beginning in 1905, Rotary is now a global fellowship of 31,000 clubs and 1.2 million people who believe that helping others can make a real difference. Now, every one of those 31,000 clubs is chartered by Rotary International. Rotary International is where the real city slickers work, you know, big cars and big cigars. But let me tell you, those folks know their stuff. They help the local clubs get organized for big projects by providing ideas, coordination, and resources for local and global service. Projects like immunization programs, literacy campaigns, exchange students, and peace scholarships. Well, this all sounded real good to me, so I joined the Barrington Breakfast Rotary. They just celebrated their 25th anniversary, and now that I've got some Rotary time under my steadily growing belt, let me share a few secrets and some great stories about the Breakfast Rotary. The first secret is this. The heart of Rotary is the local Rotary Club. Don't let all those big cars and big cigars fool you. It's the best feeling when you're working shoulder to shoulder with other local club members, helping people that aren't as lucky as you are. Earlier, I called people in Rotary club members, because that's what all the cars and cigars people told me to say. But now that we're around the campfire together, getting real cozy, ready for some good grub, I can tell you that the people in the Barrington Breakfast Rotary are way more than club members. They are my friends. And when you've got 56 friends all pulling together, you can help a lot of people. And speaking of helping people, let's talk about some of our local service projects. We improve the entire Barrington community by completing projects that benefit everyone who lives here. We roll up our sleeves to purchase and install lightning detectors and defibrillators. That's a pretty big word for me, defibrillator. We contribute to the treehouse at Citizens Park, put on the Trick or Treat Trot family run, help out at the July 4th parade, keep Route 14 clean and green by clearing out the highway trash and all those stray golf balls from McRae. Man, some of those golfers could not hit the broadside of a barn door. We make the annual Community Kids Fest happen. If you've forgotten how wonderful it is to fly a kite with your kids, or your spouse, or even all by yourself, come join us in early May at Citizens Park. But our focus isn't just on community projects. We work face-to-face with the people who live in Greater Barrington. We deliver Meals on Wheels to shut-ins, tutor kids at Sunny Hill School, restock food pantries, give scholarships at Barrington High School, judge speech tournaments, and help at-risk kids in District 220. And listen, we've got a few of those big cars, big cigars types in our club, and they decided to set up a really unique community project, a microloans program. This program makes small temporary loans to business people to help them grow the local economy. Good idea, don't you think? But the Breakfast Rotary doesn't just do local things. No, sir-ee. The good things we do reach around the world. We're working to halt the spread of polio. Rotary is this close to eradicating polio. Hey, who is that guy anyway? I have seen him before. Something about windows, gates, stuff not working right. He probably runs a hardware store. Anyway, our club has completed several projects in Guatemala, building stoves for local residents, providing easy-to-use water filters, and developing sources of clean, safe drinking water. One recent project was pretty interesting. The native Mayan population in Guatemala is lactose intolerant. Now, for you country folks, that means they may have trouble digesting cow's milk. And when the kids don't get enough protein, their schoolwork might suffer. So we worked with a local school to buy and install what's called a mechanical cow. Well, come on now. For us cowboys, this thing is a real insult. Where's the mooing sound? Where's the cowbell? Where's those, those things you pull to get the milk? Well, as it turns out, the mechanical cow uses soybeans to make soy milk, and there's no lactose in soy milk. The kids can drink all they want and get the protein they need. To top it off, our club helped train Mayan men and women to operate and maintain the mechanical cow, and to market and sell the excess soy milk and soy pulp. The school now has a business which can pay a few bills in addition to helping the kids. And hey, there's none of those cow problems I talked about earlier. You get my drift? Some Barrington Breakfast Rotary activities are sort of between local and international. We help the Illinois Fatherhood Initiative judge essays from kids in Greater Chicago who are writing about their dads. In another between project, club members joined young Native American men in Minnesota to develop basic work and business skills. We labored shoulder to shoulder with these young men, and you know what? As we helped them expand their horizons, they succeeded in expanding ours. That's a real quick look at my club, the Barrington Breakfast Rotary Club. And let me tell you, partner, there's a lot more I can say. Tell you what, why don't you join us any Thursday morning, 7 a.m. on the button, in the Performing Arts Center at the Garlands of Barrington. That's where we have our weekly meeting. The grub is first class. Let me tell you, they've got lots of bacon, and we would love to have you watch our club in action. Just leave your horse outside and come right in. But remember, the Garlands is pretty high class, so all you cowboys and cowgirls gotta scrape your boots before you come in. Thanks for joining us at our Rotary Western Rendezvous. And don't forget, the money you spend at the raffle and auction supports all kinds of worthy projects, just like the ones we talked about tonight. Okay, buckaroos, it's time for all those little dogies in the herd to go to sleep. But before I go, I want to give you 2 pieces of cowboy advice. First, when you take that cool drink of water in the afternoon, just make sure you do it upstream from the herd. And second, when you drop something, like that deer repellent I was talking about, do not squat down to pick it up with your spurs on. Ouch! Happy trails!